So the real estate market lately, it's been crazy so far, but that got me even thinking, is real estate a good investment? And I'll start off here. Yes, real estate is a good investment because you can make a whole lot of money. You can either, you can rent out the house, you can buy a duplex, a triplex, you can rent out one or two units and then live in the other unit as well. You can use that as a primary residency. Also, I just saw this on the internet the other day. Um, so if you own a house for 5 years, there's a there's a thing called a 2 and 5 rule. If you own a house for 5 years and you use that primary residency for 2 years, 2 consecutive years, whatever you sell the house for is tax free. So I thought that was interesting. Evan, I'll throw it over to you now.
Okay, tax free, that's really interesting. So real
Yeah, I
estate,
thought that was interesting.
for those who don't understand it, like, isn't real estate just selling houses and all that? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But for the younger folks, first of
There's a
all,
lot more than that. There's a lot more to it than that, though.
yes, for the younger folks who might not know, like, so say there's a billionaire, right? And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, do they just have $1 billion in Chase Bank or something, right? No, usually one way they spread out their wealth is through real estate. They have, places that they buy out, they sell out, and, they lease them, yada, yada. And that's how they build wealth is because they have all these properties too. And yeah, some of them just have giant mansions for themselves, but also some of it is
Yeah.
through real estate. That's how you do it. And why is real estate profitable? Because I hear some people, I don't want to get too political, but a little bit on the left would be like, well, because do you know what a hedge fund manager is, Jake? Like they're more like they're pretty much investors, but they select like specific risk and stuff like that. They have a little bit more of an edge. So essentially, what they'll do is they, could place invest in like the housing market and in that. And some people might think that's wrong, but the reason why the housing market's profitable in the first place, the reason why real estate's profitable in the first place is inflation. So if there was less inflation, then they wouldn't do it. But it's a profitable market. So the housing market just goes through crazy. And I'm not too sure about the Jake. I want you to explain a little more about the tax free like that deal. But all in all, though, real estate, especially if you're and you don't have to be a billionaire. It's just taking the next step. That's how you're building wealth when you do real estate, and instead of just having your money. Of course, if you do individual stocks, that's great too. But you're building your wealth instead of just having it sit in a bank account. But yeah, Jake, can you explain a little more about like the benefits and the tax free stuff you were talking about? Because I'm not too familiar with that.
There's there's a ton of benefits too. You uh Obviously when you sell your real estate property, that being tax free, there's a lot of benefits to it. Like number one, the government will give you certain tax breaks because they want people to own real estate properties. Um Also, let's say you buy a house in 2019, that house you bought that house for 125. Let's say you bought it for 125 grand. And it appreciates in value to 325 grand by the time you sell it, right? So now that $200,000, if you go ahead and buy another real estate property and you close on that within, I believe it's 60, maybe 90 days, that so that money you just made on that property is again tax free. And you can use it to buy another property and then you just get in that loop and loop again. So there's a lot of benefits to it, obviously.
Just one more question. I'm not actually sure if you know this, but wouldn't it make sense if like because there's like I think there's like 5 states. I'm not sure how many, 5 to 10 states that have no income tax, right? So
Hmm.
I wonder would it be more profitable or less profitable to rent or lease property in those kinds of states, because you're trying to make money
Probably
off of
be
it, I guess. But
It
yeah,
would probably be more profitable actually.
I would think so.
Because you
Yeah,
gotta think, you don't have to pay income tax on those houses that you do buy.
but you're
So
just buying it at face value. Yeah,
I
right.
would think it would be profitable. Firstly, I'm not a real estate expert, so you would have to consult a real estate agent for advice.